Hi, this is Jaya. Now we shall see the third part of the summary of Andrea Del Sarto by Robert Browning. Come, let's go to the poem. But a man's reach should exceed his grasp. So he says, I know. Human beings must try to reach more than what they can reach. They must at least try to go one step ahead in every field. That is what a man's ambition must be. Oh, what's a heaven for? Then why do we have God? All is silver grey, placid and perfect with my art. You just look at my art. It is perfect. And so, why should I think about more than that? The verse, I know both what I want and what might gain. And verse of it is, I know what I can do and what I want and what I might gain in my life. And yet, how profitless to know to sigh had I been to another and myself. So now I am thinking it is definitely not going to be any useful if I am going to sigh and say, if I am going to be a two-person, that is my true self, and another person who is going to be like how people expect him to be. Our head would have overlooked the world, no doubt. Of course, if I had been like that, not like this, but if I had been able to do a work, able to create work which the people appreciated or what the people expected, maybe the whole world would have looked at us. Yonder's a work now of that famous youth, the urbanate who died 5 years ago. It is copied, George Vasari sent it me. Now he says, look at the work now. It is by a very famous youth who died 5 years ago. And he says, it is copied. This is a copied version. And George Vasari, actually this George Vasari is a biographer of the artist. He is an Italian biographer. And he writes about all the artists. He says he sent it to me. Well, I can fancy how he did it all, pouring his soul with kings and popes to say. And he says, when I see this painting, I can understand why everyone likes it, because he has poured his soul into it. And that is why even the kings and the popes, because these paintings are kept in the church, they are able to see the soul into the painting. Reaching that heaven might so replenish him. It is so very great that even heaven will bless him above and through his art, for it gives way. That arm is wrongly put, and there again. Maybe everyone will praise, but I am a person who is for perfection, and I know that the arm is wrongly drawn. And see here again there is a mistake, a fault to pardon in the drawing's lines, its body, so to speak. Even the body, certain lines, which is a fault, but many will pardon it, will forgive it. So to speak, its soul is right, because everyone will only see for a soul in the painting, and this painting has a soul. He means right, that a child may understand. Even a child, when it sees a painting, it will think it's real, because there is life in the painting. And that is why, even though the arm is wrong and in the body certain lines are drawn wrong, which I know as a painter, everyone is appreciating it. Even the king is appreciating, the pope is appreciating, and this particular work is considered to be heavenly, because there is soul in it. So we can very well understand why Andrea Del Sarto was not able to reach the heights of the painter, where the other painters like Michelangelo and great painters were able to reach, because they had the soul in their work. Whereas here Andrea Del Sarto was a very good painter. He was a perfectionist. He knew what to draw, how to draw and all that. But somehow the soul, which is the main element of a painting, was missing in his paintings. Still, what an arm. I could alter it. He says, okay, even now I can, because this painting is presented to me, I can make changes in it. But all the play, the insight and the sketch, out of me, and wherefore out, had you enjoined them on me, given me soul. So he says, but what is the use? And now he starts blaming her. He says, I am not able to get this soul into the painting out of me, because, and he blames her saying, had you enjoined them on me, given me soul. He says, you should have given me the soul. If you had empowered me, if you had kept me happy, then maybe I would have also given the soul to all my work. We might have risen to Raphael. He says, I would have become a great painter than like Raphael. I and you, nay, love, you did give all I asked, I think. He says, I would have become like Raphael, and you also would have enjoyed that popularity. Now, maybe she is trying to say something, to refuse saying, no, 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 you are blaming me unnecessarily. So he says, no, nay, no, love, you did give all I asked. So he's saying, yes, yes, I know, you're going to say that. I gave you whatever you wanted. I tried to make you very happy. So he says, you did give all I asked. I think more than I merit, more than I deserve. I accept you have given me more than I actually deserve. Yes, by many times. But had you, oh, with the same perfect brow and perfect eyes and more than perfect mouth and the low voice my soul hears as a bird, the fowler's pipe and follows to snare. So he says, you are a perfect beauty, and most of my paintings, you are the model. Your brow is perfect, your eyes is perfect, your mouth is perfect. Everything is so perfect about you. You are a beauty. And my soul hears like how a bird can hear the fowler's pipe and follows to the snare. Had you with these the same but brought a mind. So you also had a snare along with that. And what happened is, had you with these the same but brought a mind. But your mind was not at all with me. You are a beautiful person. If I ask you to come and sit next to me, you are immediately coming and sitting. If I ask you to leave your hands on me, you are giving. But I still have a doubt whether your mind is there with me. Some women do so. He says some women bring their mind, and mind means the intelligence and the love and affection. Had the mouth they urged God and the glory, never care for gain. And they always encourage their husband by saying, give it to God, praise the God, and don't only draw for gain, not only draw for money. The present by the future, what is that? Live for fame side by side with Agnolo. Here it must be Michelangelo. Raphael is waiting. Raphael is another great painter. Up to God, all three. Other women, any other woman, when they get married to a painter like me, they will say, leave all the fame to God and don't draw only for money. And you have to think about the present. And whatever you're drawing should be there for the future. And only think about, live for fame, think about the name you will get. And if you had encouraged me, maybe I will be in the lines of Michelangelo and Raphael, and all three of us would have been great. I might have done it for you if only you had motivated me. I love you so much. I would have definitely done it for you. So it seems. I'm sure it would have done. Perhaps not. Then he's changing. Maybe not. All is as God overrules. He says, oh, maybe not. Maybe whatever happens is only what God wishes. Beside, incentives come from the soul's self. I understand that your motivation must come from inside you. I shouldn't have expected that motivation from you. The rest avail not. Why do I need you? Then he's thinking, the others too, that is Michelangelo or Raphael, they did not need anyone else to motivate them because both of them did not marry. What wife had Raphael or has Anglo? Because they did not have a wife. So why did I think that I need a wife? In this world, who can do a thing will not. He says, in this world, if someone wants to do a thing, they cannot do it. And who would do it cannot, I perceive. And who has the capacity to do it also will not be able to do. That is what I think. Yet the wills somewhat to the power. And thus we half men struggle at the end. So he says, because everything is in the will of God. And that is why we people are suffering. Because it is destiny. God decides who should be given what. God, I conclude, compensates, punishes. It is safer for me if the award be strict, that I am something underrated here. He says, okay, God is the one who compensates for some. God is the one who punishes some. And I think it is safe for me to be like this itself, even if I am not awarded, because that I am something underrated here, poor this long while, despised to speak the truth. It is okay, I'll accept it, because I always speak the truth. I dared not, do not leave, do not know, leave home all day. See, I have not had the courage. I don't know where to go, and I don't know how to dare, for fear of chancing on the Paris lots, because I've always had the fear what the lords in Paris will say. The best is when they pass and look aside, and I'm very happy when they just look sideways and go away, because that is best for me. But they speak sometimes, I must bear it all, because when they speak sometimes to me, I have to really tolerate them, which I don't want to do. So I feel sometimes this is also really good that I'm not such a great painter.